Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome. Hello, it is a Friday night. I can't believe it's Friday. It is Friday. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing tonight? Jeez, Louise. All right, so who do we have in the chat? We have Mel to the B. She says, hi, Didi and friends. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We have Lakeisha and we have Taisha. Hi, Taisha. How are you? Hi, everybody. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling on this Friday night? I feel like I uh am well rested. And so I hope I can make it a good rest 2 nights in a row because last night I knocked it out of the park. Jen, how are you, Jen? How are you? All right, so we're going to play a little bit of a game here. So if you looked at the title, it says plus size dating game. I don't want to take that plus size out, but I've been just kind of keeping it in there. Eventually, I'm going to take that out of there. So the game is this is a word association game that we're going to play. So if you guys are ready, we can get started. I might have to come out of this jacket. I am kind of warm, getting warmed up here. And I can tell I'm gonna have to take this jacket off soon. My heat works fine, but the hot water is still not working. My warranty company has not called me to set up a date, so I'm like, in cold water, and so that made me turn up the heat even more. so, so I turned it down. These lights, once these lights hit me, I'm gonna take this jacket off. But for right now, I'm keeping it on. I'm keeping it warm here. Dr. Bobby joined us too. Hello. So we have Felicia. Felicia, how are you? For Felicia Marie B. I love saying Felicia Marie B. All right. So this is a word association game. So you guys have to participate in the chat. So yeah, no hot water, Dr. Bobby. No hot water. It's been going on now for several days. And yeah, I don't know how I'm making it. I'm boiling water. And my daughter loves it because she loves to put the boil. I boil the water and put it in the in the bathtub, and she'll sit in there and wash up, and then she mixes it with the cold. I just think she likes the whole process of it all. Meanwhile, I'm annoyed. so so we've been making it, and then I was luckily I have clothes washed, a lot of washed clothes already. I kind of did that midweek, and I was just thinking, like, geez, oh man, like I like to wash my clothes in hot water. I'm not going to be able to do that, right? Because if I don't have it in my sink and throughout the house, it's definitely not going to be in the laundry room. So, oh well, that's another story for another day. I just hope it works out. All right, so what this is called a word association game. I'm going to say a word, and I want you guys not to think a lot about it. Just put it in the chat. Put in the chat whatever's the first word that comes to you, and I may ask you about it. So we're going to start off with some GOP friendly stuff, and then we're going to move to some dating stuff, and then we could talk about anything dating you guys want to talk about. We could talk about that, and then I also want to know. We have that dating coach coming next Friday. If you have any questions for a dating coach, and maybe I'll read her bio or something for you. I don't know if you guys, you guys know Debbie. Debbie is the one who hooked me up with this coach. It's a friend of Debbie's. Debbie has a connection with this coach. And so this is going to be her first live. She's so excited to come here next week. And I told her to send me her profile pic. And I love when I get these pictures and they're like, you guys know what glamour shots are? They're like a glamour shot pic. So I just thought that was so cute. So I have to, get that thumbnail and stuff up. But I didn't want to confuse it with what we had going on tonight, which is just easy breezy, a game. So I'm going to say a game. I'm going to say a word, and I want you to put the first word that comes to mind. And don't try to be fancy smancy. Just put the first word you think of in the chat. I'll say mine out loud after you guys give yours. I'm not going to really look at yours because I don't want that to influence the word I say. So, don't wait for somebody to put their word in the chat and then you put your word, because we want to know, like, what's the first word that comes to mind. So let's start off with something like GOP friendly, weight loss related, and then we'll move into more dating stuff. All right. So the first word is injection. Injection. What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of injection with your GLP-1? If you're not on the GLP-1, like, if you ever taken an injection or a shot, what's the first word that comes to mind? I said I wasn't gonna look in the chat, but mine is, I saw my word in there from somebody. Mel, what's your word when you think of injection? Felicia Marie, Keisha, what's your word? I see a word from Taisha and Bobby. Okay, Mel says, I see her word. Okay, okay. Ooh, that's a good word. Okay, okay. My word was gonna be um Jen, what's your word? If is Jen still in here? Or maybe she just listens. I know some people listen and can't necessarily comment. Mine is easy. That was my word. So what's your word? Some of these words. Simply Taisha was the first one in here with her word. She said Zepbound. Okay, okay. Dr. Bobby says easy. Okay. Effective, says Mel. Painless. I love that word, painless, because that came to my mind too. But I was gonna say easy breezy, but I'm trying to stick to my own rules and just have one word. So easy. Okay, very good, very good. I like those. What okay, this is another one. This is the next word. Cravings. What word comes to mind when you see cravings? Oh, Jen, she's driving to work and can't play. Okay, okay. Cravings. What's the first word that comes to mind? Hmm. Geez, this is a hard one. I'm gonna just say, for me. All right. Oh, for Taisha says food noise. Okay, okay. Felicia says chips. Okay, yeah, I could have put that too. I love a good chip, Felicia. Eat more. Okay. Sometimes. Okay, that's a good one too. Snacks for me. I love a snack. I have a craving for snacks. Mel does not. Mel does not. She says crickets. Okay. I hope you're not eating those. Some countries they do eat those. Eat insects. Okay. Okay. All right. So, all right. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. What about um, scale? The next word is scale. What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of the scale? I'm gonna say sometimes it's my word was dreadful. And then I was gonna change it, but no, I said the first word, so I gotta keep my word dreadful. All right, I wonder what you guys think. Simply Taisha says the first word that comes to her mind is wait. Okay, weigh. Okay, Dr. Bobby. No, says Mel. Okay, and I said dreadful. And then, oh, Lakeisha says scary. That's a good one. Felicia says nervous. Okay, yeah, yeah. Sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm so excited to get on the scale because I just know I've lost, and sometimes I haven't, right? And then the times I'm like dreading it, that's when I see a big loss. I don't know what that is. Mel says addictive. Delilah says male. Why male? Oh my goodness, that's too far. Oh, you're wearing things on the scale you think of male. Why is that, Delilah? I gotta ask you about yours. All right, the next word is word association, side effects. What's the first word that comes to your mind when you think side effects? Um, I'm gonna say, ooh, this is the big daddy for me. Well, I haven't really had it though, I will say, since I've gone plant-based mostly. My word is constipation. Ah, yours is lucky because you haven't had any. Okay, very good. All right. Mine was constipation. Dr. Bobby, constipation. Oh, Taisha's lucky. She hasn't had any. None, zero, zilch. Male, geez Louise. Lakeisha, constipation, weight gain, says Delilah. Constipation, yeah, constipation. That's a big one for me with the side effects. All right, so we'll do a couple more, and then we're gonna get into the dating. We'll see how these, how you guys keep up with these. All right, so the next one is appetite. What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of appetite? Isn't this these are like I got here last. Am I playing this wrong? No, it's just the first word that comes to mind when you think of any of these words. No, whatever you think of. So you weren't thinking like associated with weight, and you don't have to. I think if you're not, that's pretty good, actually. Appetite. I always think of suppression when I think of appetite. My appetite is suppressed, which is a good thing. And I'm also, like, cautious too, like, are you guys cautious? Are you guys cautious that you don't overeat? Before I got on the GLP-1, I never thought about if I overate. Like, if I overate, I just overate, right? I just thought, "Okay, I'll feel, like, tired and sluggish," but I never thought, like, to control myself so that I don't overeat. What I think about on this medication because, I know that you could get diarrhea, I know that I could get very sick, and I don't want to feel that way. What people say they feel when they've gotten those side effects, it kind of reminds me of somebody who got like almost like food poisoning. I've heard people get really, really sick, and if I had food poisoning, it wasn't diagnosed as that, so I don't remember, if I had it or not. But geez, though, man, who wants to be really sick like that? So, what are you guys thinking when you think of appetite? Desire, says male. Okay. Suppress. Yes, that's mine too, Felicia. What's that? Taisha. Controlled is a great word. Control is a great word. Desire. That's a good one. Okay. Okay. Devin says, hi, Devin, welcome. Says, I'm on retatrutide. No constipation, but it has other side effects. Okay, do tell. What are the other side effects? No constipation. Like that sounding good to me. And nauseous, yeah, like sick, suppression makes you feel sick. Oh my goodness, that's not good. Male, I love it. I'm able to eat with no desire to overeat. Yeah, I don't really want to overeat either. Sometimes I think like today even I had like some fish. It was fried. It was from our local market, and they, because it's Good Friday, it was fried fish. They had a special, and they had fries. And my daughter wanted, what did they have? Potato wedges, but the dinner came with the coleslaw and fishes, which I wanted it, but it also came with fries. So I didn't eat the fries. I tasted one because I thought I just want to taste it. It was not good, but I just thought it had so much oil that I thought it would make me sick. And so instead of eating the two pieces of fish, because my daughter had something else, but she saw the fish and wanted it. So instead of eating two pieces of fish, I thought this fish is fried, it might make me sick. So I only ate one piece of the fish and I had the coleslaw. And really, that was all I needed. That was enough. I could have stuffed myself and ate more, but I was worried that it would, the oil in it would affect my stomach. So I thought I'm just going to, be easy breezy and just have a little bit of it. So just to be able to eat that way in moderation is super helpful. All right, so let's see, how many was that? Okay, so let's do a couple more and then we'll go to the dating questions. So Devin, if you're, could you tell us what are the other side effects you're having on that retatrutide? That is so, I'm still so shocked that you guys are able to talk about, how you're doing with this medication while you're in the trial, but I think that's so cool. So cool. What about protein? I'm curious about this protein. Amazing how this changes your thought process, right, Dee Dee? It does. It really does. Late to the party, jumping out of the bushes. Hello, all. Hey, Mia, we're talking about this. We're playing a word association game, and we're starting off GLP-1 friendly, and then we're going to move into the dating. So the word we have is protein. What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of protein? If you asked me this before Mounjaro, I would have said something totally different. But now I'm saying, now my word is um, now my word is important. That's my word. Let's see. So Dr. Bobby says feeling. Okay, yes. Delilah says when I thought of appetite, it made me think of saying appetite for desire. Okay. Mia says, okay, eat more. Okay, good. I said important. Taisha said chickpeas. Taisha, you gotta help me out with the chickpeas because I was watching something today that talked about like how much protein chickpeas had. And I don't know. I haven't looked for chickpeas, but they don't stand out to me either. Like so even at Whole Foods, so I gotta go get me some chickpeas. Oh yeah, you said go. Yeah, I thought about that word too. Keeping me full. So you're more like Dr. Bobby. Hey, perfectly Pamela. Pamela says more. Felicia says plenty. Okay, good words, good words. Okay, very good. Yeah, that protein is so important. What about stall, like a weight loss stall? What's the first word you think of when you think of a stall? Um, my word is I'm gonna say my word is avoid. I'm trying to avoid a stall. And actually I haven't had a stall. I thought I had, but I haven't had a stall, a true stall. You know, I haven't lost for some time. Um, you know, I haven't lost. It's been weeks where I didn't lose in a row. And just it seemed like, you know, I had months where I lost like 2.5 pounds. But yeah, I think of but what a true stall is, I haven't had that. So that's a plus, right? And I didn't realize that that I really hadn't been in a true stall. But I think stalls are a part of a weight loss journey, especially long term. Okay, so what does Delilah say? Horses. Frustrating. Relief, says Mel. And my word was avoid. Mia says stuck. Yes. Recalibration. Yes, that's another good word. Okay, okay. Perfectly Pamela says reassess. Yes, very good, very good. Do more like walking, or up my protein if I stall. Okay, very good. You've lost a ton of weight. So yeah, we gotta listen to that advice from you. Felicia Marie B says, scared, scared. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. I can see that. A stall would make me scared too. Debbie's first word is poop. And that would get you out of that. You got to get that fiber in. You got to get moving, right? Okay, so we just have two more. So, what do you think about when you hear the word fatigue? Fatigue. Um, my word is often. I am often fatigued on this journey. And you know what? Not to the point where it's like stifling or anything like that. Just, you know, after that injection, I kind of get tired. And then I think because I'm up in the middle of the night at times, I could get tired. I do need to take more naps. I really do. Um, and I'm scared to drink more element. I do have that element. I'm gonna be raffling that off this summer. I have a ton of it. Um, I was on like a rotation with it, like where they like automatic shipment, and today I finally stopped that shipment. So I have excess because I'm only drinking one packet a week, but I need to raffle that baby off. But yeah, fatigue is real on this journey, I think, but not to the point where I'm fatigued because I'm not eating. I think, well, it could be right because they told me I'm supposed to be eating more, so maybe that was part of the problem too, and I didn't realize it. You said a nap. Mel says element. Keisha says tired, no energy. Felicia says a nap too. Mia says blah. Perfectly Pamela says fuel. And Delilah says anemia. Yes, if you're anemic, you're definitely tired, right? You're definitely tired. And I think I'm like border. I'm kind of close to being anemic just because all that, I think all that, you know, the excess, you know, heavy cycles didn't help at all with that. Okay, this is the last word. And then we're going to switch it up. We're going to switch it up. So the last word is motivation. What word do you think of when you think of motivation? Um, I have a 3-word, sorry, answer. Well, I can make it one word. I'm gonna make it one word. Well, you guys have some good words. Doctor, you gotta explain your word. Ah, that's too funny. For people out there that's watching but not in this chat, I'm gonna read them out loud. These are some good words. You guys are on it. Mel says me. The motivation starts with yourself. I love that. Delilah says it's just a feeling. Okay, yeah, I can get with that. Lakeisha says to keep going. Don't stop. Yes, yes, yes. Unreliable. Yes, Taisha. Mel said, Dr. Bobby says overrated. Felicia says cardio. Perfectly Pamela says necessary. And my word was family. That's my word, family. I think of motivation as like, when that self-motivation leaves, because don't you guys, we all have motivation. I remember that coach Romiko, he said, when motivation fades, you need discipline. He said that's when your discipline kicks in. And for me, when my motivation fades, that's when I think about my family. I think about my mom, my dad. I think about my daughter, and then that kind of, gets me that extra little push. So, but yeah, I do agree with him. I think motivation leads to discipline. I think discipline has always been a word associated with weight loss that we all wanted to avoid thinking about or saying. And I think discipline just means, to me, it means like just doing something consistently, having a routine, something that you're doing, over and over and over. So you're disciplined, right? Because you're doing it over and over and over. And motivation does run low sometimes. And, I don't care how many times people, tell you or say or give you a pick me up, something has to come from also within, right? So that's why I say when people say on these medications, like if you've been following my journey, I said from day one, that yeah, these medications are tools, but really it's what you're doing that is really getting you to your goal, that is really helping you through this process, because we can all choose path A or path B. And a lot of us that are on these medications long term and are hanging in there, we're choosing path A. And so, well, let's call that path A. I don't know if we're really choosing path A, but I'm just saying that path A is the medication. We've all made that choice to continue to go and stay on the medication. So, you know, with that said, you guys are also a part of my motivation. My family, my friends, this GLP-1 community is, helping get me motivated. So I love that. All right, so let's switch it. Let's switch it up. Let's switch it up. That was for the YouTube algorithm. Take that. All right, so let's change it to dating. All right, so some of these words, tell me the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of these words. These words are more related to dating. So the first word is curves. When somebody says curves, what do you think of? What's the first word you think of? All right, so Debbie said a better life. Yes, 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 Debbie, very good. It reminds me like any other feeling, it's not needed to keep going. It'll come back around. That's a great perspective. Great way to look at that. Delilah, I love that. If I could like put a pin on that, I would. Dr. Bobby says overrated, because if I relied on motivation, I would not be consistent. I just do things even when I'm not motivated. Exactly, exactly. And so that's why I say motivate. When he said motivation, it's the start, but discipline is going to get you to your goal. He is right. And like I said, Coach Romiko is right. And like I said, that discipline is just your routine, right? Your structure, what you have going on day in, day out. And that's why a lot of us, when we get out of our routine, what happens? It goes awry. It goes awry, right? Things don't go the same. And some of that is life. Like you can't help what life is doing. Like life is gonna life. And you just have to you go with it. Go with it. What is Delilah saying? Oh wait. That's what I had said also. Okay, Taisha. To me, it's not about discipline more so than about habits. Yes, you have to build those habits. You need to push for it when the motivation is lacking. Exactly. I love that. Delilah, I just got my mail. Nice little something special from Texas. Bobby says sexy. Yes, sexy. Oh, curve, sexy. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Well, I'm trying to go with the answers that are related to this. Wait a minute, wait a minute. She said, yes, we are. Wait, yes, we are. No, yes, we are. We are. Let's see. Perfectly Pamela says, yeah, I shifted to dating. She shifted to dating though, so my mind shifted to no, 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 you are fine. You are fine. So the word was curves. And I didn't say my word. My word when I think of curves is I do think curves are sexy, but for some reason I think of the word voluptuous when I think of curves. I think of voluptuous. Um, Felicia says beauty, yes. Mel says sexy, yes, very good, yes, curves. And curves are always a good way to say you got a lot going on, especially in that rear ear area. Right? It's nice to say the curves. What about confidence? What word do you think of when you think of confidence? Um, um, let's see, my first word for confidence is sexy. That's my first word. That's what I think of. I think confidence on a female or a male is very sexy. It's just, it's attractive. I guess more so attractive for sure. Um, and I told you guys I'm confident, but not when it comes to like wearing a bathing suit or coming out of clothes. That's where my confidence fades. My confidence fades then. So I'm hoping to get that back. And here recently, I think I said this the other day, my BFF is in Vegas with her daughter on spring break. And one of my BFFs, and she sent me a picture of her, and she's lost 100+ pounds. And she sent me a picture of her. And I told you she has like 4 sisters, and she's the fifth, and she's the oldest too. And but they all have been slim and trim, and she picked up so much weight, and now she's lost weight. She's thinner. I want to say she's thinner than, if not all of them. But she looks great. She was on the beach in a bathing suit, and I just thought, oh my gosh, if she could do it and put on a bathing suit, like one day I might be able to do that. So that's a lofty goal, but for me, that's where my confidence lacks. It lacks with the just coming out my clothes, right? So I'm confident with the clothes, but without them. So let's see. Mel says when you think of confidence, you think of yourself. Very good. Shiny. Okay, very good. Pam says secure. Debbie says strong. Simply Taisha, I agree. Love yourself. Very good. Um, Okay, let's see. All right, so I'm just sticking to what's in the words here. All right, so here's another one. What's the first word you think of when you think about? Felicia says tough. Yes, tough, tough, tough. What's the first word you think about when you think of a first date? A first date. What's the word? Um, hmm. When I think of a first date, I want it to be. I think of fun. Um, Fun is my word. A first date. I want it to be fun. I don't know. That's the first word that came to my mind, but I could think of some other words. I kind of want a first date to kind of have some like romance to it, like excitement. That's a good word, Mel. Excitement. Yeah, I want it to have some romance to it. So that would be my second word. But my first word, I would want it to be fun. Code word. Connection, that's a great word, Felicia. Connection, exciting, very good. Happy, sparks, that's a good one. Perfectly, Pamela. Sparks. Taisha says exciting. All right, very good, very good. What about because this word is like, it's just like a word that like frustrates me because there is no way to get rid of these, I hear. What's the first word you guys think of when you think of um stretch marks? And if you were on a date with a guy and he said, he really, that's something he didn't like was stretch marks, or a female, how would you react? What would you do? I got to take off this jacket because now I didn't got warm. Jeez, Louise. So what do you think of when you think of stretch marks? That's another thing. I think that's also something that shakes at my confidence is having stretch marks. That's another thing that shakes at my confidence. Um, Mia says, no way. Life. Bro, get on with your bad self then because they are not going anywhere. Normal, natural. Yes, 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 yes. Um, yes. I know people who Mia says beautiful. And to a man who says no way to stretch marks, deal breaker for me. Yes, and it is natural and normal, but that's also something, I'm gonna ask Derek about this because when I see people who've had what do you call those? um, what do you call those? Plastic surgery, any kind of plastic surgery, and then you see the stretch marks are gone a lot of times, so they probably cut that out or if some kind of way fix it where those stretch marks aren't there. And I guess that would make sense if you're, cutting part and putting it back together, that sort of thing. But yeah, stretch marks are a real thing. That's another like weakness of mine is that those stretch marks. What about eye contact? What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of eye contact in a dating situation? I always think of flirting. I think eye contact is that first probably form of flirting. Yes, that's my word. I'm gonna have to turn on my fan. I done got a hot flash for real. Hot flash. You can see I'm sweating. Jeez Louise. I wonder if I'm sweating because we didn't change this topic. So what do you guys say? Oh, Mel says so. Taisha says sexy. Delilah, not too much because ew. You don't like the flirt. You don't have like having eye contact. Nervous, flirting, yes, connection, yes. I always say that I think some of these dating shows that I've watched, like I don't know if you guys used to watch that one on Bravo where Patty Stanger, I think was her name, was in there. But a lot of people teach you, and we'll ask this little dating coach next week. We'll ask her, I wonder if they say eye contact is the first sign of flirting, and that's how you can tell if somebody is really interested in you because they're going to be flirting with you, and you could tell from that eye contact. And I will say that is so true because I remember having eye contact. That's like a one of the signs somebody is really interested. Delilah says, no eye contact is fine, but there's a fine line. Well, in between staring you down, yeah, that is different. Staring you down. What about kissing? What do you guys feel about kissing? And what's the first word that comes to your mind when you think about kissing? And would you kiss somebody on the first date? And I don't mean like a peck. I mean like go all out in with that French kiss. Would you do that on a first date? So the first word I think about when I think about kissing is honestly, I think about intimacy. I hope I spell this right. Intimacy is my word. Now I like that word. A deal maker, not a deal breaker. I love that. So a deal maker. I love it. Okay, that's a great word. Sweet. Depends on what, Delilah. Depends on what. Romance. Intimacy is my word. I always thought, you guys saw that movie, I know, Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts. And remember her in that the guy, the millionaire billionaire, they got it on, but they never kissed until they got to the point where they really had feelings for each other. And her rule was no kissing because they always say that kissing is so intimate. And once she started kissing him, that's when she started falling for him and him for her. And so I just thought like, wow. So, and that reminds me that kissing is an intimate thing. So I don't really do the kissing on the first date. I don't have a rule about it. But I try not to. And then if it happens, I know like, geez, I was just so attracted. Some guys don't even go in for the kiss on the first day. All right, so Dr. Bobby says sparks. Yes, yes, yes. Get those butterflies. If he has my permission or not. Yes. I shall return later. Okay. Well, yeah, because it was paid for. Oh my goodness. What do you mean it was paid for? The kiss? Um, what are you talking about, Delilah? Do tell, do tell. Okay, so what about the what about this question? What do you think about when you think about chemistry? Chemistry. Um, when I think about chemistry, I think about attraction. Goodness, everything falls back on that attraction. When I think about chemistry with someone, I think about being attracted. What do you guys think about? Trust, that's a good one. I don't associate that with chemistry though. That's interesting, Mel. Why do you make that connection with trust and chemistry? Oh, that's a good word too, Pamela. Connection. Okay, very good. Connection. I'm trying to think what other word. Attraction. Yes, I think of attraction too. Um, I was talking about the sex and pretty. Oh, it was fake. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, and that was her rule that she was not going to kiss. And I guess I don't know if that's all ladies of the night, if that's their rule, but no kissing. And then remember when she when she decided that she was going to break her rule, that's when she fell for him. It's like, geez, Louise, don't do that, lady. Both attractive. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, okay. All right. What about texting? Um, what do you think of in a relationship when you're texting? If somebody wants to text more than talk, what do you feel about that? I've never experienced a guy in my whole entire life yet that wants to text more than actually talk. And so whenever I hear about that, I just think I always get a little suspicious with that, but that could just be me. That doesn't mean a thing. But what if you met a guy who wanted to text more than talk? Effortless connection. Oh, hey, Bellflower. That's a great way to put that. Effortless connection. Yes, yes, yes. You prefer texting than over talking. Okay, all right. A deal breaker for male. That's the total opposite. Before my time. Yes, yes. But I can even see, if you had in your household, if your guy wasn't a talker, your husband, but he would text you or write what he thought, like what would you feel about that if he didn't want to talk, but he would write it out? I know some people who say, they're better halves will text more so than they will talk, but they don't text a whole lot either. Why can't you talk? Yeah, I don't know. Strange. But I'm busy and I can respond when I cannot. He is reaching out. Okay, all right. You're not into the texting either. It's a new day, so texting is the norm. That's true. That's true. Plus, I work dumb hours, so it's easier for you to text. Okay, all right. I would prefer to talk. I think, yeah, I think if I didn't live with someone like Delilah, you have a guy, so I could see that, you guys might have a way that you just make things work with your schedule. But I think if you're single out here dating and somebody just wants to text all the time, that is something to be suspicious about. I would rather see you in person and talk than on the phone. Yes, yes, yes. And then if you can't, why can't you? Sometimes it helps to communicate so that folks can share their thoughts without interruption. That's a good point. And I told you I dated this guy that lived out of town for a very long time, right? He lived out of state. And I dated him and I liked the fact we really were close because we did a lot of chatting on that phone and FaceTiming. And so I thought that kind of brought us closer quicker than it would have if he lived here. Do you know what I mean? So I do see the value in that. I do see the value in that. But yeah, I don't know that, I was still like in my early mid 40s when we met, when we were dating big time like that. And I don't think now that I would be okay with that. As a matter of fact, I know now I probably would not. It's new. It's a new day and a new time. You guys are right. All right. What about, ooh, this is, Heels or flats? What would you wear on your first date? What would you prefer? What word comes to mind when you think heels or flats? Hmm. Heels on a good day when my feet can take it. And the funny thing is now that I'm lighter, it's easier to wear heels. When you're heavier, those heels aren't healing. They just don't work so hot. But now that I'm lighter, I had on heels yesterday. Oh, excuse me. I had on heels yesterday and I was fine. My feet weren't hurting or anything. So I was like, yes, that's a good sign. All right, what do you guys have? Dr. Bobby flats, Mel heels, Lakeisha heels, Felicia flats. Flats, I'm too wobbly, but with my back right now. Okay, flats, a comfort. LOL. All right, you guys are all into I'm into kitten heel. I'm a kitten heel girly now. No, I like wedges too. Like I like a good wedge, but I think that helps too. But yeah, and now if I'm on a first date or like a date, I think I would wear heels because I also am 5'4.5", and I always want to be taller. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller, something, something, something. I would call them. Flats, I want to make sure I'm comfortable no matter the situation. If it's a first date, I need to run. Well, I'm taking those heels off and I'm flying out of there. But yeah, I would wear heels on the first date. And then as we got comfortable, I would wear, flats, tennis shoes, that sort of thing. Okay, very good. Now this is a question. These questions are getting a little bit more spicy. Okay. What about what's the first word you think of when you think of a tight dress? A tight fitting dress. What do you think of when you think of a tight fitting dress? I think of like, I don't know, the color black for some reason. I think of like a black, cute little black dress. Hey, Linda's journey. She says, "Hi, family. Late to the chat." Linda, we're talking about we're doing some word association with dating. We're talking about the first word you think of when you think of dating. Something related to dating, and if you have to explain it, please do. All right. Delilah says, Pamela, that's why I said code word, LOL. Confidence, red. Yeah, put on that red dress. Isn't that what Johnny Gill? Flip on those high. Well, you guys are going to be putting on your red dress and your red flats. Red, Lakeisha says, showing off curves. Yes. Enticing. Yes. Hi, Miss Linda. People are saying love. Oh, Jen, that's so sweet. She says love. Little black dress. Yes, bellflower. I think of that too. A little black dress. What word? The word was what was it? Oh, a tight dress. A tight dress. Um, oh, stuffed sausage. So no thank. That is too funny. That is too funny. My stomach area is so large. I have some dresses that I don't even wear, so I'm gonna try those on here in the next couple of days. 'Cause I want to see if they fit because my stomach had gotten so big. I didn't want to wear like a tight fitting dress or a dress at all because I feel like it just was like straight up and down. So now that I'm starting to get some curves, like dips and curves here, I'm gonna see how the dress is looking. But I always think of on a date. I don't think I would wear. I don't know. Would I wear a dress on the first date? It depends on if it was summertime, maybe. I don't know. I feel like Pamela though. I feel like nowadays you gotta be ready to take off, and I have to have some shorts up under there. I have to be ready to take off if I need to. Pamela says, Delilah, we seeing eye to eye. That's so cute. I love the little eyes. When I think of a tight dress, I think of me in red. Oh, okay. Yes. LOL. Yes. That red dress, that black dress. Oh, Felicia says Spanx. Do you guys wear Spanx? I cannot get into Spanx. I remember my mom used to always tell me to wear Spanx, and I just said I would just rather have a little roll here and there showing through my clothes because I just do not like anything tight fitted and on me like that. So I can't get into the Spanx. You guys wear Spanx? Anything related to Spanx? You guys wear garments to hold you in? I know I need to. There's no probably. I need to. I just don't like it. Delilah says, oh, yes, Felicia. Dr. Bobby says, yes, I've worn Spanx. Yes to the Spanx, depending on the occasion. You wear Skims. Okay. Not comfortable, but effective. It is effective. Yeah. Oh, my. I can't take it. It's something about it. I just rather have those rolls showing. I tried in the past, but no. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't like the Spanx at all. Like, it just does not work with me. Yep. My husband used to call it my body armor. Oh, that's creative and cute. Oh my goodness, that's too funny. All right, so what about this question? Didi, you do not need to. You do it because you want to. Period. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, yeah, and I haven't wanted to, so I don't wear it at all. What about, thanks for that, Delilah. That makes me feel a little bit more good about my roles just hanging around here because I'm not a Spanx girl. What about this question says, and I don't know how this is word association, but it says bedroom lights on or off. What is your preference? If you want to share. And I'm just gonna say off. That I have to be, that's me. I'm an off girl. What about you guys? On or off? Hmm. Do tell, do tell. Damn! Perfectly Pamela came through with that. Damn! I love it. Or doesn't TLC have that song? Red light special. You got a red light. Oh my gosh. So we got off, off, off. Dims. I love the dim. Off. Off, please, says Felicia. You're so sweet. Off. Yes. Candles only or dim lights. Yes, yes, yes. Dim. LOL. In the middle, sexy light. Yeah, I think I would like a little bit of a sexy light too. Off Belfire says, "Yep, dimmed is perfect, but it wasn't an option." Oh yes, red light is everything. Okay, emotional support pickle. That's the cutest. I have a night light we use. Okay, okay, very good. All right, very good. And Linda's saying hello there. All right, so what's the first word that comes to mind when I love this, Pamela? I make my own rules. What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of the word lingerie in the dating situation? Um, hmm, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. She's 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 a fan. No, I'm not a fan of lingerie, but if he wants to wear it, you buy it and I'll wear it. All right, what are you guys saying? You guys are so funny. Uh, Miss Linda said, I have been married so long now that both ways work. Lights, no lights, whatever. I love it. So lingerie, not a fan. Sexy, says Pam. Yes, Miss Pamela, you're too smart. Or him or me. On him or me. Okay, okay. Off down the street and around the corner. No moonlight candles. Reading something by the type of dark. Something the type of dark. I'm sorry, I messed that comment up, but okay, all right. Necessary. All right. Dr. Bobby, don't like it. No DD. He's a fan. He's a fan. He's a fan. No, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Not a fan. Not really. Mm-mm. You know, honestly, I tell any guy, if you want me to wear lingerie, you got to buy it and I'll put it on. If I have something that's, they say they don't, I got some little things going on, but if they were to want something more like different, they have to buy it and then I'll wear it. If you don't buy it, I won't wear it. It never stays on long enough. Yeah, no, most guys I've talked to said they like it, just to look at for a minute, but it's really not necessary because it's kind of in the way. So, yeah, it doesn't stay on long enough. That's why, yeah, I say if you want me to wear it, you can just buy it. I'll put it on. Help her out, man. CC COOCCS. Love it, love it. All right, all right, all right. What did I? Oh, oh, Felicia says cute. Yes, it can be some cute lingerie. What about ooh, what about spooning? Are you guys into that? What about spooning? What words do you think of when you think about spooning? Um, I think about the word that comes to mind to me is closeness. Is closeness a word? If it's not, it is now. Bam. So Miss Linda says, love me some lingerie. I have never slept in pajamas. I started wearing pants when I gained weight. I love dresses and skirts. All right, very good. You have never slept in pajamas at all. No wonder you've been married for so long. All right, Bellflower is laughing. Closeness is what I think. Love it. Back up. Too hot. Hi, oh, hey, Brown Velvet. How are you? How are you? Intimate says perfectly, Pamela. I used to be, but right now, get away from me. These night sweats are too gross. Yeah, see, that would interrupt it too. And now I haven't been spooning, and I don't know how long. So, I don't know. But yeah, I would think I would just be like so hot. The question is, what word do you think of when you think of spooning? Is that something you're into or not, Taisha? Little spoon. A little spoon, that's cute. Unless I'm in a mood, then back. Give me 50 feet. Yes, yes, yes. It just gets hot. That's the only thing. Like I say, at this time, I could just totally see that I would be too hot to be doing that. Yeah, spooning. um, Connecting. Oh, that's a good word, Lakeisha. Connecting, that spooning. Yeah. Um, Kind of kidding, but I like foot touching or hands or arms, but spooning, I'll do it for love. All right. So yeah, so are you guys affectionate? So are you like what do you call that when you like affection in public? What if you're into that and the guy is not? Or what if he's into it and you are not? How do you compromise on that? I'm not like I won't initiate the affection out in public, but I will accept it and reciprocate if that makes sense. But I won't initiate it at all. Taisha says, when I'm cold, if not, nope, these night sweats are horrible. Oh, that's too funny, too funny. Oh, Mel B, that's how David is. I'm not a big PDA person. PDA balance. You can no, Pam, perfectly Pamela, you are not either. Not in public. No. What in the world, you guys? Not really into PDA, but we'll support. Yes, I'm not either, but like I said, I will reciprocate if it's put upon me, but I'm not a big PDA type person at all. I said, oh my gosh, that's probably bad, but you guys are on board. You're not either. Hubby likes it, but I'm still so shy. Okay, all right. So how do you compromise on that, Felicia? Do you have to compromise? Wait, Dee Dee, you do know what PDA is, right? Well, I thought I did. Is there another definition of it? I'm not good with the PDA, with the acronyms. I don't mind PDA, but nothing over the top. I like physical touch in public, but no big makeout sessions. Yes, yes, yes. And I've been places where I've seen couples just making out. I mean, I've been at the airport. I've been this bad when you're in a club. Now, I haven't been in a club in a long, probably since Vegas. And people are just, like they just do it all now. They don't care. It's like, get a room. I like PDA, but hubby doesn't. So we compromise. It happens sometimes. Yeah. And I know sometimes couples have told, people have said like they normally don't do PDA, but they were like in a different city. So like in Vegas, people are like, I wouldn't do this if I was in my hometown, but I'm in Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So it's funny. Um, oh yeah, that's that one, Holding hands, maybe a hug or a peg, not full of PDA. Public displays of affection. I am on board. My husband always holds my hands when we are out, and sometimes while watching TV. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. I love that. I love that. That lets you know the attraction is still there, right? Because if they're always like, really affectionate. The last guy I dated, he was very affectionate, like all the time. He was always rubbing up on me and always up on me. And, it irritated me at some point because, when you're going through these perimenopause things, it's like you don't always want to be touched or whatever. And, I had to say to myself, like, he's trying to show me that he's like attracted. So I got to like, stop, getting annoyed by it. Public, yeah, I knew what that meant, but I thought he was talking about something else. Yeah, PDA. I'm the one who asked the question, didn't I? Didn't I say PDA? Same, brown velvet. Okay, very good, very good. But you never know with me. You got to double check, Delilah, because me and these acronyms are not friends. I don't mind hand holding or light roughing. Like maybe hand on waist, but nothing more. And no, DD, you're right. I said that before the reading began. I got used to it over time, but I tell him to keep it like, okay, very good. So that's your way of compromising. So that brings me to, I wanted to ask you guys. So some of you ladies are married in here, and if you're a gentleman out there that's listening, come on in the chat. Let us know. But so what are the biggest compromises you've had to make as a married couple? Like, what are those compromises that you had, Dr. Bobby, Simply Taisha? Like, what would you say your biggest one or two things that you've had to compromise with? So it's like something you wouldn't do, or it's not your thing, but you've had to compromise because of your better half. Because I think that's going to be a thing for me, that compromising. And I could compromise, but it's like like how much do you do it? My ex accused me of not caring as much as him because I didn't engage in a lot of PDA. Oh yeah. But he knew up front, right, that you weren't into that. So he thought you were going to change. See, you can't think somebody's going to change. Um, how much time do well, as much as you can share, I want to know. Because yeah, I think compromise, in any relationship, there's compromise, but I just wonder, in a marriage, like how much compromising are you doing? How you feel like you're doing. Let's see. I skipped down. I'm sorry, I'm way behind in the compliment. I skipped down some. Okay, I saw that. Felicia said she overtime. Okay. And then I got off on mail and the X. Okay. Linda, your husband is a sweetie. What a keeper. Yes, holding your hands while you're watching TV, just like you're at home, chilling. I love that. David holds my hand in the car, or he will put his hand on my shoulder or something, and that is okay. Okay, very good. So you've compromised and let him do that. I'm not sure I heard you say PDA, but maybe I missed it. Maybe I didn't call it PDA at first. But yeah, I think I did say, but I don't know. But Delilah, help me out because me with these acronyms. But yeah, I knew that was public affection, right? Display of affection, but public affection. Beverly says, hi DD, hi fam. You guys are almost an hour and I know I missed a lot. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Look at that profile pic. Now, Bev, you're over here taking glamour shots. Now, what is this? What is this? Look at you. She got a whole vibe going on with that glamour shot. She is ready for a date night Friday. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's what I call, that's like a thirst trap photo. You got it going on, Bev. I love it. Love it. Love it. So Linda said, being spontaneous, I'm a planner. Okay, very good. So you had to compromise with that. Okay, all right. He's more social than I am, so I ended up going out with friends and doing more stuff than I would otherwise. Okay. Okay, I have some friends who have husbands that aren't social and they're very social. So they go to the movies, they go out to dinner, they do most of that with their friends and not their husband. And for me, I think that that's going to be now, I don't want somebody that wants to hang out at the bars and clubs and all of that, but I want somebody that wants to go to the movies, wants to go out to dinner. I think that having a partner to do that stuff, like that's on my list of my top things that I'm looking for. Somebody to be the social person with me, but not be like the social person more than me. Oh, excuse me. I will say that. I don't want somebody that's like out being the first one at the club and all those things. No. But I do want somebody who wants to be as social as I am. Ex-husband, where he lived, FYI, near nothing. So you compromise, you moved to where he was. That's a huge compromise. Jeez, Louise. Being an extrovert, my hubby is outgoing and I love being at home. So how do you work that out? So do you go sometimes? You go out and about with him? Felicia, how do you work that out? Pamela says, when I was married, my hub and I had a huge argument over the way I folded his drawers. Oh my gosh. Over his underwear. Wow. I compromised and started folding the way he liked them. Jeez Louise, like, who knew that that could be, like, a big deal? Okay. I think when you are really connected, the compromise doesn't feel like much of a chore because you wanna do that said act or action. Yes, I could totally see that. I could totally see that. Yeah. Because if I was really into a guy, it wouldn't be a big deal. But it's also the way he says it too. I think that would play a part in it. Let me put some groove in it. Oh yeah, love the new profile pic. Yes, our new profile pic is gorge. Bev is looking rather fetching. Bev, you are looking good, girl. Right? We aren't out clubbing, but seeing friends for dinner, going to sports things. I'd be fine staying at home. LOL. We have fun and it's probably good for me, but you don't really care. Yeah, I think it is good to have a social, some social outlet, separate from your husband, with your husband. I think that's both. And for single people as well. I think a lot of times, have you guys ever been single? And Linda can't relate to this because she married at 16, but I noticed a lot of women, um, and I've been there, done that before too. So I will say myself, but a lot of women, when they meet a guy, they cut off all their friends. Everything is about the guy. They don't talk to their friends. You get ghosted. And then when it doesn't work out with the guy, all of a sudden they start wanting to come back around. Who's experienced that before? When I tell you that annoys me to no end, and like I said, I've been there, done that when I was younger. You just like everything's about the guy. And the funny thing is everything's about the guy until he starts wanting to hang out with his friends. And then it's like you then left your friends, your girlfriends are mad now because they haven't seen or heard from you. And then so now you want to come back around and they're like they're over it. So yeah. Have you guys ever experienced that? Have you been like that? My husband would come home from work and say, let's go out of town for the weekend. What? I'm cleaning, doing laundry, and baby crying. I always say no. Wow, so he is spontaneous. You are right. He just would come home and say, let's go on a trip. Okay. Now, some women would probably love that to take them out of the rut, but you're like, I got things to do. Pamela, David, and I had the same argument. He compromised by shutting up and letting me do it my way, or do it himself. It's called balance, babe. Okay, all right, very good. Oops, oh yeah, that is not healthy. I think when you meet someone new, you need an opportunity to get to know that person. So you have to back away from friends a little, not throw your friends away. Yes. But I mean, a lot of them just throw you away. Like you don't hear from them at all. I was married at 18 in college. My parents would have never allowed me to marry at 16. Okay. She's like, clear that up. It was 18. Okay. Did you meet him at 16? Because some kind of way I remember 16. Am I off with the 16? Did you meet at 16? Okay. Bellflower says, yes, been there, done that too. Got to find a healthy balance. Yes, 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 yes. Delilah Rodriguez, that was my argument at first. Be glad I'm doing the laundry, but in the end, it was so stupid, it wasn't worth fighting over. I would agree with that. Mel says that's a good point, Bev. Yes, yes, yes. You do have to cut back on your friends, but not totally cut your friends out. Like that's the thing. Cutting those friends out is not good. I have friends like that, but I've never been. I like my something homes. We do both have our own. We have okay. You have your own life. Okay, very good. Linda, you have a good one. Yes, yes, yes. We tell her that every week. Pamela, it was over the minute I said cool. So so eat yourself from now on and finish the rest while you're at it. And I walked away. He did them and said, I'm sorry, you could do it as you want. LOL. Okay. So you're like, I'm not doing it. This is the way it's gonna be done. And so he kind of went with that. I realized later that he was taking away for me to have fun, relax, and pamper. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I did meet him at 16. Next door neighbor. Yes. Okay, I remember that 16 in there, but I just had it wrong that you guys got married. Okay, very good. I was like, am I going crazy? Um, okay, all right, all right. So what let's see. What if a guy was somebody who told you that he could not apologize, that he was unapologetic, whatever he says he means? How could you handle that in a relationship? He's unapologetic. Geez, I mean, so that means like no saying I'm sorry. What would you guys say about that? Pamela says, my word is run. That is so sweet at Linda's journey. It is. It is. Look, I could compromise, but not over something that stupid. I mean, I'm in Texas and he's not in California. So you say run, Pamela, run. Huge red flag and a deal breaker. Okay. Nah, there can't be two of us. Bye. Bye, Felicia. Not bye, Felicia. Not our Felicia. Bye, mister. No, I need emotional intelligence. Okay, very good. I love that. Emotional intelligence. That's a word. I couldn't and wouldn't handle that nonsense. Bye. Look at Brown Velvet with the beautiful profile pic, and I love the curls. Not sorry, but it would be over. Okay, all right. You said you cannot deal with that. If he was non-apologetic and can't say I'm sorry when he's wrong, then I'm done. That means he's bringing bad vibes to this relationship. Yes, yes, yes. That's a word, Bev. You dealt with that and you removed yourself from the situation with the quickness. Now, this wasn't your ex-husband, was it? Male to the B. I can't handle that. Not for me. Okay, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Delilah says, my mom said even when I was a baby, I refused to say sorry. She would take away my whatever or spank me, and I could care less. I would still refuse. So, are you apologizing now? I think you are. I don't know though. You're like no, Brown velvet, gorgeous photo. Yes, yes, yes. I love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, very good. No, it was the most recent ex-boyfriend. Okay, it was your most recent ex-boyfriend. Okay, very good. What about let's see. What about a guy who what about a guy who doesn't take you to meet his friends and family? Like let's say you've been dating for like let's say 6 months, 3 to 6 months, and would you expect to meet friends and family within 6 months or no? Delilah says, I don't get down with empty sorries now. Either say it when you mean it or don't say it at all. All right, all right. And let's see. Delilah says, no, I can apologize, but it took a lot of therapy. Okay, I love that you're saying that because I think maybe some people feel that way too. I thought it meant I was weak and I refused to look weak. Okay, very good. That's a way to look at it that I don't think I would have thought of. So Okay, and so you said you've gotten therapy, so you kind of, moved on past that. Yeah, I think being able to apologize is good, but sometimes, I think you have to tell people what you expect your apology to be for. Because if you really don't know that you need to apologize, or don't think you need to apologize, or somebody you feel should be apologizing to you, I also think that's a discussion that needs to be had. Know what is, or who is he or who he is hiding. Oh, okay. All right. All right. That should be organic. No set timeline. Okay. All right. It never takes you to meet his family. That means you're not the one. You're probably his side chick and he wants to keep you undercover. And you guys are saying, no, I think that's suspicious too. I learned it wasn't weak, and once I truly learned, I could say meaningful sorries. Okay, very good. And I don't think that's weak at all. I don't think so at all. Um, yeah, I don't mind apologizing for whatever if somebody said I hurt their feelings in some way or whatever, but I would have to know that, right? I would have to know that I hurt your feelings. I would have to know that it bothers you, because I always say I'm not a mind reader. I'm not a mind reader. And sometimes I think people expect you to be like, because they're feeling a certain kind of way, they think you should know it. And how would you know? Um, and so you guys, that communication, like I said, I'm a communicator. I like to talk things out. No, but my last ex introduced me to his entire family within weeks. That should have been a red flag. Jeez, Louise. He's like, this is my lady. I'm so tired. I'm getting sleepy over here. I met David's family within a few months, but my family didn't meet him for about 2 years. Wow. Okay. All right. Very good. And why did it take you so long? Delilah. Delilah, you are the boss lady. By 6 months, I think we have met each other's family, friends, so I'd be suspicious. Yeah, 6 months is a nice little time. Same here at Mail. My last ex wanted me to meet everyone within weeks. Too soon. I don't even know if I like you like that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, I mean that was within our being in person. Remember, we were long distance for a year. Now, remember, okay, okay. You were long distance. Okay. What did Pam say? Too soon. I don't even know if I like you at that point. Yeah, the few weeks is too soon. But what about 6 months? I think 6 months. I always used to say I wouldn't introduce someone to my daughter right away, but I also thought about, what if I really like this guy and he doesn't my daughter met him after 6 months to a year, let's say 9 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, and she just did not like him. He rubbed her the wrong way. She had an instinct. Then it's like, geez, oh man, I really love this guy, formed a connection, and my daughter is not feeling him. So that's why I think introducing a little bit early on, like I used to have that theory, like, you're not worthy to meet my family and friends. Now I want them to meet you just to check you out. Do you guys feel that? Because I know that used to be a thing. You don't take people around your friends and family unless they were somebody really special. Nowadays, I just think you gotta. I just think I'm doing it for like safety purposes, if nothing else. Um, let's see. Let's see. Because my whole family has never met a partner except one ever. I just don't roll that way. In person, I'm very private, especially with my relationships. Okay. So, Delilah, what makes you so open online and you can't be in person with people? And you probably said that before, but yeah, that's interesting, and that's a lot of people feel that way, honestly. I'm slow to introduce men to my people, so I don't stress it. They can meet my son until I know I'm serious, 6 months plus. I used to be like that, but now I just worry, what if my daughter meets them and doesn't like them? Then they have to go, and I've wasted 6 months. So I think, and at this age, 52, I don't have 6 months to wait. So I think I might introduce my daughter a little sooner, not like 2 weeks, not like a month, but maybe into like the third month. I would be introducing my daughter. I want to see how you interact with kids. I want to see how she interacts with you. I want to see if she is suspicious of you. Um, I think I have to handle it a little differently in this day and age. Like years ago, that would have been my theory, my way of operating. Let's see. I scrolled me up too fast. Okay. I'm really guarded, so it would take me some time. Yes, yes, yes. Dee Dee, you had a crazy week. I definitely understand that. I have had a crazy week, and I went to bed last night, but it's just been like emotionally kind of draining though. Somewhere between 3 to 6 months is normal. Longer than that is suspicious. Yeah, I would say too. Here's the thing though, you wouldn't know if it was an actual instinct or if it was jealousy since she's not used to sharing you. Okay, so you said, yeah, my daughter. That's true. And, yeah, and it's funny because when I'm on the phone, and it's so funny because I've been talking to a couple people and they'll say, like, your daughter always wants to talk when you're on the phone. When I'm not on the phone, she's not trying to talk to me like that. She has her moments when she is, but as soon as I get on the phone, she's been like that since she was, a baby. As soon as I get on the phone, she's like all over me. When I'm not on the phone, she's content doing her own thing. And I heard that's kind of normal for like kids. Especially she's the only child, so it's just kinda us. So, yeah, you're right, Delilah. I would have to be able to distinguish that. That's why introducing them to my dad and some friends would be also helpful because they would also get a vibe on this guy. Um, Truthfully, therapy, tons of therapy helped me become more open. Plus, I can't see you judge me. So what do I care? Oh my goodness. She said, I can't see you judge me. So what do I care? That is too funny. But that's the thing though. People do judge you. People do judge you being online. I'm sure people have ideas and thoughts about, all these content creators. And is I don't think you could get around that. And it's so funny because I had this friend and she would vent on Facebook all the time. And I'm not a big Facebook person at all. And she would vent on Facebook. And I said to her, why are you doing that? Like, why are you venting on Facebook? And, as opposed to calling the person up or talking to the person or talking to your mom, talking to your friends. And, she said, I can say things online that I can't say to people, to them. Or, we may not let me, like Pamela was saying earlier, they may not let me get my thought through. And I just thought interesting, interesting, interesting. And I think a lot of times people that I know of that have felt like that, they don't really feel heard or seen by people in their lives. And so, when you put it out on Facebook, that's just an outlet, somebody's going to take it in, right? Because they're reading and listening to it. But yeah, so yeah, that's a real thing. That is a real thing. Okay, let me see. I lost my place. Let's see. I was on Delilah. Okay, I think I found my place. Delilah, though, that was a good point about, my daughter, that perspective. All right, so we left off on Delilah talking about the therapy has helped. When my kids were younger, then I was guarded. Now they're all grown, so it's a different. Yeah, and you guys, see, that's the thing. I'm on a whole different playing field because I have a young little one. Dee Dee, when I was dating my second husband, my daughter was 7, and I introduced him after we've been dating 4 months. Same reason you're talking about. Okay, I think 4 months is kind of reasonable too. I just don't think I don't think I should go like 6 months on because, like I said, if I'm really attached and she's not feeling it, it's just not going to work out. And, it's just like I said, it would just have to. It's gonna be a learning experience, right? For me to figure that all that out. My niece does the same thing. Okay. Yeah. It's funny how kids want all your attention, right? And when they think they don't have it. I was a kid who never liked my mom's boyfriends. They didn't deserve to be like, but my mom always thought it was jealousy. I wasn't jealous. I saw through them. See, yes. So I'm hoping my daughter would be that way. And she's pretty perceptive. So far. Very friendly, but she also, could give you the side eye too. Delilah Rodriguez, so true. My daughter was 6 when she met my late husband and she hated him. I thought she was just jealous, but I should have listened to her. She knew something wasn't right. Yes. That's why I say don't wait. I don't, not too long. Now you don't want to do it right away, but I think too long. And for me, and this is going to be trial and error, right? Just like this weight loss journey, trial and error. I'm sure they do, but I don't have to deal with them until one of us dies. So, oh my goodness. So who cares? Oh, about the people judging you? Are you talking about that? About people judging you on online? Yeah. Yep, the judgment in this community does indeed happen. Yes, yes, yeah. And yeah, I don't think you're gonna get away from that. I don't think you're gonna get away from it. I just think you just have to be yourself. Be yourself, and those who love you and like you will, hang in there, and those that don't won't. And what else can you do? I always say for myself, I just lead with the best intentions. I got good intentions, and so I'm good with that. I sleep like a baby at night when I can get it in. When I could get it in. So yeah, it's just relationships and all things relationships are so difficult. So you guys, I guess if you're in a successful relationship, you probably haven't had a lot of, that lack of compromising, right? Because if you're in a successful relationship, you guys are the married people are compromising and getting things together. It's us that are single ladies. Now, Delilah, you probably said this before, but do you ever want to get married? Because you've been in a relationship a long term. I told you I might be like the Stedman and Oprah of it all. I may be on that tread. Let's see. Pamela, yep. Some is true discernment, some isn't. Yeah, I'm trying to. I just honestly know they will come and go, but they aren't in my life eternally. So yeah. That's a great way to think about it. That's a great way to think about it. Again, you guys, I have such a caring heart. Like sometimes that holds me back from just being like you, Delilah. Like, I don't care. Keep it moving. These people don't know me. And so yeah, I have to learn how to be more like that. Now in my real life, you know, I am a forgiving person too. And I say my real life, like this is not, but I'm just saying, people who you see and meet and I interact with face to face. And I'm like that too. But I do when I cut it off, I cut it off. And so I don't give a lot of chances like I used to. When I turned 50, that really, changed something for me. Now here on YouTube land, I think I've been a lot more giving chances that a lot more open to that because we're just getting to know everybody here, right? And so I think that's probably what it is. Somebody, I guess, it's kind of like somebody you've known for 20, 30, 40 years, you just maybe the expectation is a little bit higher. Let's see. What are you guys saying? Yes, Dee Dee, one of my values professionally is assume positive intent. Yes, yes, yes. That's the glass half full mentality I have. Right now, marriage is for the birds. Okay, okay, all right. I can relate exactly. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, Delilah, that's kind of sad. I've learned that many choose wrong just to be in a relationship, and that goes for friendship as well. Yes, 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 just to have friends, right? Yeah. The marriage thing, Mel B. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I think marriage is a beautiful thing. Like I said, I just think so many things go into it now, like play a part in the marriage. And the whole romantic idea of it, I just have out of my head. And I feel like it's, when you talk about marriage, it has turned into more of like a contract, like a contract, which it is, right? Because you're signing a commitment. But I see it as like the whole romantic idea of it all that I had is just gone, and I don't really like that. I don't really like that. Um, Delilah says, I mean, it's not on the table, so I don't think much about it. To me, once I lost the ability to have kids, I didn't think of marriage again. And then, no, the come and go comment. Oh, she's talking about the people come and people go. Are you talking about people on YouTube, or are you talking about people in general? Pamela says, Bellflower, I agree. That's why my friend circle is this Small now. Yeah. I will say I do have a big friend circle, but I don't talk to them all the time. I'm not like talking all the time. I have groups of friends, and it's just a different group of friends, and it's hard when you get a group of girls together, right? When you have a group of friends together and they're all mixed in and gelling, it's always going to be some kind of issue. I feel like, with folks. So I think that's kind of hard, but yeah, I do have, and like I said, I think that's way, and I have some great friends too. It's just these ladies are awesome, and I think that's way God's way of blessing me because like my family, my immediate family, my mom's deceased, my dad's deceased, my niece is deceased, so I've had a lot of big losses, and so I'm grateful that I have like the friends and the family and the friend connections that I have, and my friends are like for family, yeah, they really are. It's like a part of my family. So I think that's so cool. But yeah, and I realize everybody doesn't have that. Some people have like that close family, right? And a lot of people who have close knit families, I don't really need the friendships like that. Um, and so, it could go either way. And then some of us are blessed to have both the best of both worlds, right? You got a big family that's close and tight, and you have friends. Are you guys tight with your families? Are you tight with your families? Do you have a tight family squad or not? I wonder. I would say I have a small immediate family is small. But the circle I have is tight. My friend connections are bigger just because I have a small immediate family. But um, yeah, it's kind of tough. The whole friend thing is can be tough. Let's see. Bellflower says, I agree. I mean, perfectly Pamela is agreeing with Bellflower. I agree. That's why my friend circle is, I read that. Okay. Facts. Mine too. Yes, yes, yes. Mel, the come and go comment was about the judgmental people online. My friends in real life have been in my life for well over 15 years. I don't make friends that don't last. Yes, yes, yes. Define friends. Ooh, define friends. Oh, I thought you meant relationships. Okay, okay. Right. I have associates and I have friends, and my friends I do not are closer than my family. Okay, your friends that you do have are closer than your family. Okay, all right, very good. No, I mean the judges, the judges online. Ah, that's cute. Yes, my real friends are my sister since I am you're an only child, Bellflower. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Yes, I'm tight with my small family. Yes, me too. Yep, tight family and big family. Entire family not as tight as we used to be back in the day, but pockets are still okay, good. Pockets of you all are still tight. Very good. Tiny but loving family. I love that. That's how my family is now too. I have a huge family, and we have a true when you're with one of us, your family now. My mom is one of 12. Oh, they have a ton of kids too. So we really are very rarely outside people. Oh my gosh. You have a huge family. Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, yes, yes. That's a huge family. I'm tight with my grown daughters, but my parents are gone. Siblings are thousands of miles away. I'm only close to one sister. Okay, very good. How many sisters are there? Linda says, my immediate family is very tight. My friends I have known since elementary school. You too, my best friend I have known for 60 years, and my sister and I are very close. People call us twins. I love that. I always wished I had like a sister, but I have like, my friends are 30, 40 plus years. I guess my BFF we're going on, I'm 52, so that would make 40 plus years. The other one's 30 plus years. So yeah, a lot of my friendships are have had a long time. And then some of them, the more recent ones are like Delilah would say, like 15 years plus, 20 years plus. Um, yeah, it's like, what are you falling out about at this age? Usually at this age, when people are falling out, it's regarding money, right? Some money kind of situation. At this age, it's also, you know, somebody's more sensitive and takes what you say and, takes it to heart and gets offended. Or I find that this age is if it's a girl group, it's always some, shenanigans going on in the group. With all the girls can't get along or somebody likes somebody else. And I always find myself in the middle of things, being a peacemaker. Um, I've always like taken that role that's kind of like the peacemaker. When friends fall out in a friend group. But it's just kind of like yeah, it's kind of sad, but yeah. So yeah, Linda, I'm like with you with those long-term friendships. And my dad is one of nine. I have three sisters and a brother. Brother is deceased, and two of my sisters are okay. Okay. Long story. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Well, family can be tough. My family is here in the US. It's small, just me and my sisters in Connecticut, but I have a family in England. I have family in England, Jamaica, and Florida. Okay, very good. So you guys are spread out. I love that. I love that. I have two sisters, so other girls, women always seem like frosting on the cake. Yes. But I can be selective because I have the love of my older and younger sister. And isn't that is so special? I always wondered, wished I had a sister. I have a brother. I don't have a sister. And a sister is different, right? A sister is different. And you know what? Honestly, my mom was like my sister. Everybody who, knows me would say like you guys were like sisters, me and my mom. Plus we were, kind of close in age. My mom was very young looking too. Like she never didn't look her age at all. Delilah says, I have two brothers and none of us are married or have children. We don't really see the difference between immediate and extended in this family. Okay, very good, very good. I love that. I love that. Sometimes it's no love lost, but you simply have grown apart and that season has just ended. Yes, yes, yes. I love that, Mel B. Frosting. Yes, frosting on the cake. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, there are some people here who I feel like in our, GLP-1 group and especially, the our chats and stuff, there are some people I feel like, like a long lost friend, like, how you meet somebody and you're like, geez, Louise, like, I can see myself friends with this person if Facebook was over tomorrow. And so I have some people who I feel like that about for sure, which is such a great thing, like to feel like you have met really genuine friendships and made friendships on this journey with people. And, I say, people in videos, but you really got to know people behind the scenes. Cause I feel like this is kind of reminds me of like, how you might see your favorite celebrity. Have you ever ran into your favorite celebrity and they just disappointed you in person, right? They disappointed you in person, or you had a celebrity or somebody who you looked up to, and then they spoke to you in a disrespectful way, or they weren't the person you thought they were. That's really all disappointing, right? And so yeah, I hope I never have that experience. I haven't ran into a celebrity that I just was like disappointed. But I've heard many people say that, like when they ran into the celebrity, it wasn't who they thought they were. So it can be like this on the videos too. And I'm lucky. I really haven't had people making mean comments or trolling me in the comments. So I just think that has been so cool. But yeah, I've just had a great experience, especially with the subscribers. Like you guys, the people that are watching and supporting your channel, it has just been so great. And I feel like I made some lifelong friends, even if tomorrow I say, oh, I'm not, not gonna continue to do this channel. I feel like I have people I can still call and talk to and talk about my journey and see what's going on. And so I think that is so cool. That is so cool. And who would think you would find that on like YouTube? Who thought you would find that on YouTube? I think that is so cool. All right, so you guys, you said don't get mad. Don't get me started with meeting Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice, you got to tell us about that. That's my Jerry Rice. Are you talking about the football player? He's one of my favorite football players of all time. What are you talking about? Jeez, Louise, don't mess up my thoughts about Jerry Rice. Oh my goodness. Oh, DD, I love you too. Yes, 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 Bev. Oh, Bev, we have a friendship for sure. Me too, DD. I think of Delilah that way. I'm old enough to be her mom. Yes. I adore you too, Miss Linda, my mommy's name. Yes, I love that. A bit unorthodox, but it's amazing to make some true connections in this space. It is, Bellflower. You're another one. And I would have thought I never would have, been saying I'm gonna meet some friends on here, people who I want to be friends with outside of YouTube. So it's crazy, but it's awesome. Dr. B has earned 2 nicknames from me. I'll tell you on my live tomorrow. Yeah, that's a way, that's how she's gonna get you there. Show up so you can get to know that name. Okay, never mind. I won't. Bev, me too. Yes, 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 yes. So this is great. So you guys, I'm gonna go to bed here. I am kind of sleepy. It's just been a long day. Today, what did I do today? Today, my daughter, it's so funny. My daughter got her hair straightened. This is a situation that happened to me this morning. I'll tell this quick story. And Dr. Bobby, you might can relate to this. I don't know. So my daughter, she went to get her hair straightened, and so I made the appointment. The girl who normally straightens her hair wasn't there. Her hair is long and thick, right? So the girl, and I knew this when I scheduled it. So they basically told me that the girl who does her hair wasn't there. So I said, well, is there somebody else that's good at straightening, thick, long hair that's naturally curly? And it's a like a different texture. And so I said, I want the best person that's in there. And so she gave me this lady's name for her to do my daughter's hair. So I get there, it's another lady that shows up, and this lady is not the best with hair. She's not the best with my daughter's hair, especially. She's tried to do her hair before and couldn't. And so she came to do it. And I said, well, and I knew this wasn't the girl's name, but I can't remember her name. So I said to this lady, I'm like, well, I said, are you such and such? And she said, no. And I said, I didn't think so. I said, well, I want my daughter to have a consistent person. And she said, well, the consistent person is not here. And I said, yes, but, I still want her to have somebody who, has, done this type of hair before. So she's like, okay, okay. So she's like, well, so it was this whole thing. They said they didn't have time to blow dry. Most hair, they're getting through in 30 minutes, whipping it out. I think it's like $25 to do a wash and blow dry. But they had her down for a cut. So when the lady said, okay, she's getting a cut, come with me. I said, no, 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 no. She's not getting a cut. They claimed that was in the notes. I don't know. But I mean, it was just a whole big thing. So the lady who is not good with hair, she said she could blow dry my daughter's hair. So I thought, okay, she's just gonna blow dry the hair. She can't mess it up. I'm gonna be sitting right there. So she washed the hair. When I tell you she washed it so fast, I said, did you put conditioner in it? And she said, yeah. She said, but we're gonna put like a leave-in conditioner in it too. So she washes the hair really fast. She as she's straightening it out. I'm talking to one of my coworkers on the phone, and she's straightening it out, and she's taking like strand. I feel like it was strand by strand, but it was like a little piece. Like she could have taken more because I could do hair. I just didn't want to do her hair myself. So, she's taking, a piece, and she's like pulling it, slowly but surely. And like, they don't use a brush that has a brush on the attachment. It's like a brush, and then it's like a piece. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, so I hang up this phone because I'm thinking, no, mind you, I'm thinking she's doing this because one of the things they told me is it's $25 to blow dry and do her hair. So I said, well, what were you gonna do? You were just gonna cut it and not wash it? Because she was like, well, we're just gonna cut it. And I said, no, it needs to be washed. So she says a wash and blow dry is $25, but every 30 minutes is $25. So that's why when she's doing her hair, like like strand by strand, basically, I'm thinking she's just trying to get this money, extra money. So another lady comes over who was more like the owner. I don't think she's the owner, but I could tell she was like the manager that day. She kind of stepped in and said, okay, we'll wash and blow dry it. It starts at 25. I said, well, how long do you think it'll take? They couldn't give me a time. So I'm thinking the most they better charge me is $50 because this lady is going super slow. So she's doing it. So the other lady comes over who's more like the manager and starts straightening it and helping her blow dry. So my daughter was like, I got two people on my head. So they blow dried her hair. They tag teamed her. And then the one lady who knew what she was doing ended up straightening it out. So now her hair's straight. So I timed it. So when she started getting her hair washed, it was 108. By the time they finished, it was 208. So that was exactly 1 hour, which they ended up charging me $50. And of course, I gave a nice tip, which I always do. And the lady was very you could tell she was kind of apologetic. And then I thought, maybe I don't need to bring her here again. She likes going there. She went to a party there, and they don't really specialize in her type of hair, but she likes going there. And like I said, the girl who's there has done it and knows how to do it. Well, so I was talking to one of my coworkers. I looked to the behind me, and they had like that white chicks. You guys know what mixed chicks. It's called mixed chicks, not white chicks. Mixed chicks. So it's like hair for people who have like different texture of hair. So I'm thinking if they are selling these products, they should have somebody in here who knows how to do that hair. And so I was just irritated. That started my day. Then I thought, okay, I'm going to go to the grocery store, get what I need for my Easter dinner, some, few things I needed to pick up. Well, then my dad calls me and said he's over to cut my grass. And I'm like, well, I'm not at home. And he's like, you're not at home. I said, no. He's like, well, I'm going to go back. He said he had told me earlier he wasn't going to do it. So instead of doing everything while I was out and about, I had to come back home, let my dad, open the garage door for him so he could get what he needed. And it's just been one day thing after another. So when I finally got home, I worked on this video up until, I came on here with you guys tonight. So that's why I'm tired. I've been on the go. I didn't even get exercise in. I consider my exercise walking around that grocery store today. So I got some serious steps in, and I was kind of walking around just to get the steps in, like doing more than I needed. So what are you guys saying in the chat? That story went on and on, but that kind of irritated me because I'm like, this is not going to set the tone for my day. So Delilah says, I was talking about telling you that Jerry Rice story on live tomorrow. Okay. And I said, never mind, because you don't want his name, Marty. Oh, okay. Oh man, isn't that just the worst? Jeez, Louise. I love Samia and Nadia and my amiga until I die. Aw. And no, not Nadia. It's Nydia, like Lydia, right? I haven't seen Nydia in a while. OMG, I used to go through all that all the time with my daughters. A mess. Did you really? Oh gosh, it's so annoying. That's the first experience I've really had with it. My hairstylist, of course, can do her hair. But remember, I told you my hairstylist is out until like summer. I made a hair appointment with her. I couldn't get an appointment. She's not back until June. And I don't let everyone do my hair. Like I like consistency with who's working on my hair, my nails, my whatever. So yeah, that's crazy. It is because she didn't know what she was doing. Yes. And she's just not, I won't have her doing my daughter's hair. But the other lady stepped in and kind of saved the day. And she was really, I gave her a nice tip, and she was really conscientious and wanting to know if I really liked it. And it's so funny because after my daughter, she was just whipping that hair around. I said, she's going to have a whiplash before Easter. So hopefully her hair holds up tonight, but I could just, it's really just for Easter. I don't expect it to last. And her next thing is she's going to be getting braids. I don't miss those days. They used to charge for the hair. Yeah, the length of the hair. And I mean, when I say her hair is thick, it is thick. Yes, that sounds super irritating. It is. Have you ever had problems with that? Because your hair is naturally curly, but it's not long. So I'm sure that is helpful in that situation. You have no problem finding someone to do her hair down here, natural, curly, mixed hair salons all over the place. Yeah, I bet. Like I said, one of her classmates, and her hair is a different texture. She had a birthday party there. And ever since then, the kids go in there, they sit in the little cars, like their chairs are cars. It's geared towards kids. Like it's like a toy little shop in there. You could buy all kind of gadgets. Like if I were the chairs they sit in are big hands, to do their nails. They have a nails place for the kids. It's just everything is everything is just so, geared toward kids. So of course, and then you can sit in there, they give you animal crackers. The seats are little cars, like Disney cars and all kind of cars that the kids can sit in. So that's why she likes going. She likes going there. And to her, it didn't phase her. And she was happy with it all. But for me, I just was kind of like, geez, Louise, like, oh my goodness gracious. Um, yeah, so let's see. Delilah, I'm a part of the family. Yes, 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 yes. I love from the Lord, you do not let anyone touch her hair, especially cut. Yes, and I said that no, you are not cutting her hair. No, 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 ma'am. I was just like, what in the world? At least your baby was happy. Yeah, she was happy. She was happy. I've been listening. I love y'all so very much. You really help support my journey. Yes, and we all love you. Everybody loves you, Mia. Everybody loves you. So you know, you stay strong on that journey because I always say people don't stay on these GLP-1s that long. So I think all of us that have been on it, I say if you've been on it for 3 months plus, you are doing well. You are doing well. You consider yourself long term and someone that's doing everything long term. And we're gonna have some bumps and valleys in the road, and we just got to keep pushing forward. I always say, my weight loss journey has been super slow. It has. When I think of, in the big scheme of things, it has been super slow. But not really, because I'm technically not a slow responder. But I mean, I'm a little over a pound a week. So I'm not losing like super fast. And in the end, it has paid off for me, right? Remember, my DEXA scan results were great. It has really paid off. Dr. Bobby, we're so glad we found you too. You said I have short, long, and medium hair, and I've had it professionally straightened chemically and temporary blowouts. It just totally depends on the stylist. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I can see that. The stylist does make all the difference, right? When I find one I like, I'm loyal. Yes, yes, yes. We love you too, Mia. Oh wait. Come on, Mia. How could we not? You're the cat's Mia. You're the cat's meow. Oh my goodness. Happy Friday. She is Tamika. She is Tamika. She is Tamika. You just had this video out. You had it out a couple weeks ago, but maybe it was a week ago, but I watched your Zepbound 1 year anniversary, and I thought that was just such a great video, such a great video. And then you have this latest one, and I started watching that. And actually, I was watching it as I was going to the funeral that I was going to, and I didn't get to finish that yet. But that Zepbound anniversary video was very, very, very good, very good. So that you just are an example of how everybody's journey is so different. This is one of the few journeys where we're not exhausted at the at the end of the journey. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. All right, people are saying hello. Exactly, Mel B. Instead, you're full of energy and a new lease on life. Yes, 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 yes. I love it. Happy Friday. Mia, you bring to the fun to the group. Glad you're here. All right, very good, very good. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Thank you, Didi. Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah. But I will say, by the way, I love that, we were giving each other compliments, but we gotta stay positive. We gotta stay positive on this journey. Like I'm gonna keep saying that. If people aren't positive with me, and I'm just gonna be positive with you. If you're not positive with me, that's what I'm about. I'm about positivity, keeping it positive. And so, that's just what it's gonna be. I'm positive on this journey. And people, it's somebody, this guy has been trolling uh Dave on the pen on my comments. It's so funny. And I'm like, why do you take time out to say negative things? I just still cannot figure out why people do that. Why people take time out to say negative things. I don't know. And I've had probably one negative comment since I started that was just kind of negative, and I'm still gonna hit you back with the positive. I'm gonna, explain myself if I need to, but I'm gonna keep it positive. But let's just stay positive on this journey. It's so much negativity out in the world. I think you gotta just stay positive about your weight loss journey. I think you got to stay positive about other people. And yeah, I'm just keeping all things positive. I'm, full steam ahead with that. With that. But you said it's their shortcomings, Mel. Oh, Pepperly Pamela said, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, I do realize that it is people's shortcomings that do that, but that's just not cool. That's not cool. I think you got to keep it positive. Yeah, I just will say that. Let's just keep things positive. I want to do that. Okay, I saw that already. I'm trying to keep up with this chat. I'm about being real. I want positivity, but when I need a slap of reality, please do not spare the hands. Yes, 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 yes. Dave on the Pen was on tonight, same time as you, and he had on an all-male panel. Oh, okay. Did he really? I have to go back and watch that. I love Dave on the Pen. I love that. What? So he had on all men. Where they? We had to go back and see what they were talking about. All right, very good. You saw that. Yeah, I love Dave. I love Dave. I'm gonna be repurposing some of that content. He's so nice, so sweet, so down to earth. Don't you like a person who you see as like a big person, and then when you talk to them, they're just like so down to earth, so sweet, so nice. He couldn't be like, nicer and kinder. Just was, a very, very sweet guy. I just loved it, loved it, loved it. So yeah, I love Dave on the Pen. I will say most people, I'm not going to say everybody. I will say, I'm not going to say everybody because that would be dishonest. Most people I've met on this journey have had, most people have just been so nice. I will say that. It's, but I'm not gonna lie and say 100% of people, because that would not be true. That would not be true. But that's okay, because I'm just staying positive. Even if people are not, I'm gonna do it. Okay. What did you say? I feel like it's about the intent. Some of us have finesse when we talk, and understand that as long as the intention is the love, that let's rock and roll. Yes, yes, yes. Well, you have a great attitude going into it, though. You have a great attitude. We thought you were talking about relationships, though, and you were talking about, this YouTube journey, which is you could do a whole nother channel about the whole YouTube journey and everything that happens in this journey, but. I mean, do not have finesse. Okay, do not have finesse. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Well, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you joining me on a Friday. Next Friday, don't forget. And Debbie, I don't know if Debbie's still listening, but Debbie is she is the lady who is our guest next week. She is a lady that Debbie connected me with. So I thought that was so cool. And so many people are in my email trying to connect me with people, and just that I just think that's so great. That people are thinking about this will be a great person for your channel, or they want to come on the channel. Just all of that stuff. I appreciate that. So Debbie, if you're still in here, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will be talking to you, Debbie. I'll be emailing you. So I will see you guys next Friday, same time, same place. And have a great Easter weekend. Blessings, love, blessings, peace, all that joy, all that. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys next Wednesday, right? Because I won't be on Sunday. All right. Bye.